But I tell you what's important this election is people are most concerned about jobs and economic opportunity and making sure that their young people have the same access to the American dream that they have. And that's why Bill and I and Ken are making that the heart and soul of this campaign. It's why we're saying that if we're going to keep Virginia strong, we've got to have a climate where taxes and regulation and litigation are low, strong right to work laws, and great universities. We've got to be able to promote the small businessman, the entrepreneur that's responsible for 75% of all new jobs in Virginia with tax and regulatory incentives, one-stop permitting, faster, more easy forms and internet services to promote small business. We've got to be more competitive with Carolina, Tennessee, and the Pacific Rim countries with better incentives through tax credits and other more aggressive marketing of the Virginia story to get the next Hilton or Altria to move to Virginia. We need to make Virginia the energy capital of the East Coast. We've got more God-given resources in Virginia than just about any other state. Coal and natural gas and incredible supplies in Southwest Virginia. We need more, less regulation and more uses for those resources. We should build more nuclear power faster in Virginia. They're doing it in France. I think we ought to be able to do it in Virginia and build that next nuclear reactor here at Lake Anna. And of course, I'm the only candidate talking about how important it is for us to drill off the coast of Virginia, 50 miles offshore, for oil and natural gas. And the Speaker just sent a letter like I did to the Secretary of the Interior saying, you've planned a lease sale for 2011. Virginia's scheduled to be first. We know that Governor Kane sent a letter to you saying that he wants us to slow down. But both Bill Howe and I agree I'm going to be governor in 2011, not Tim Kaine, and we want to keep on track and drill And then we can put those resources into transportation, 80% of it, and alternative energy research to be able to get commercially practical technologies in wind and solar and biomass. We want to make sure we're doing a lot more to protect a good education system. Bill Bowling and I had a press conference today saying how important it was to put more money into the classroom and less into administration and bureaucracy. We want to turn around those 72 schools that aren't fully accredited. We want to see more math and science and engineering and technology being taught in our public education system so those young people can fill these well-paying jobs in the future in those areas. We're falling too far behind. It's really bad for America long term unless we educate people better. I want to see 100,000 new degrees over the next 15 years. So more young people can live the American dream by going to the good community college or a good university in Virginia. And I want to make sure the government's working better. I know Bill Howe knows this is important because we've talked about this a long time. We're always looking for ways to improve government efficiency. At the federal level, they're looking for ways to expand government, more government programs, more federal control, more trampling on the 10th Amendment, more ways to be able to tell the states how to run their business. And I tell you, Democrat and Republican governors across the land are concerned about what they see coming out of Washington. We know that government ought to work more effectively for the citizens. We need more accountability, more transparency. It ought to work more user-friendly. Everybody I've talked to says, you know what, we've got enough permits and decals and licenses and certificates that we've got to go stand in line on and pay a fee every year. Let's find ways to make government work better. And I know that Bill Howe and I are going to work closely on that over the next 4 years. So, in conclusion, I've come to ask for your help. Bill and I and Ken are working very hard. You know, things have been going well. We've been ahead in the polls over the last couple of months, but I can tell you, now that I've said that, forget it. As far as I'm concerned, we're 15 points behind because, you know, we're running against a very powerful machine with President Obama. Tim Kaine's got the checkbook for the Democratic Party. We've got all the major national labor unions coming in. They've already invested millions of dollars. They're going to have walkers here every weekend. So the way that we're going to be able to win is you. Doing that hard work of freedom, knocking on doors, handing out the literature, putting up signs, making the phone calls, manning the polls, talking to your neighbors, putting on the bumper stickers. That's the difference. Now, I understand that you've made 7,600 calls. I'm sorry, only 4,500. 7,600 is your goal, right? 10,000 is your goal. But this is the kind of leadership and dedication that it's going to take. You know, we haven't won a governor's race since 1997. That's too long. And with this kind of dedication and all of you doing that hard work for freedom, I'm confident that we'll win on November 3rd. So I just come to say thank you. Let's keep up the level of intensity that we're seeing here and all over the state. We'll add House members with Bill Howell in the House of Delegates, so I'll have more allies there. We'll have a Republican sweep for the second time in history with Bill and I and Ken. And on behalf of all of us, I just want to say thanks for your good work, and on to victory November 3rd. Thank you very much.
That's actually